Hello students, today we are going to learn another topic from your grammar which is very important, that is letter writing. And in letter writing we will discuss today formal letter writing. So let's see what is formal letter writing, what is the purpose of writing a formal letter, and the uses, the points to keep in mind. We will see everything. So the introduction of formal letter writing, like a formal letter is an official letter. It is a letter written for official purpose and follow a particular format. So we should keep in mind that a formal letter is an official letter writing which is basically used for official purposes, and we follow a particular format. So there is a particular format to write a formal letter writing. We cannot write a formal letter writing in our own way. Okay, so we have to mandatorily we have to follow the format of formal letter writing. And basically this kind of letter, that is formal letters, are written to dignitaries, that is officers, you can say officers, authorities like our school, colleges, institutions, colleagues, seniors, etc., and not to personal contact, family or friends. So we never write formal letter writing to our personal contact, our family, our friends. Okay, so a formal letter is written for different purposes. So let's see what are the purposes are there. To make a complaint, okay, to request something, to make an inquiry, to apply for a job, to offer a proposal, to give a reference, okay, and for any kind of formal invitation. So for these purposes we basically write formal letter writing. Okay, so there are certain points to keep in mind while writing a formal letter which are very important. So some points are highlighted here. So let's see what are the points. You should mindful of your use of grammar when writing a formal letter, as abbreviations and quotes are not allowed. Example: oct, novem, then after, don't, etc. Means whenever we write formal letter writing, we have to keep in mind about the grammar, especially the abbreviations and the short forms. For example, we cannot write oct, oct for October, nov, nov for November, like that shortcut. We have to write the full sentence, octo ber, October. Okay, don't is a abbreviation, so we cannot write don't, we have to write properly do not. Okay, so we cannot use any kind of abbreviations and quotes in formal letter writing. We have to write everything in full. Number 2, you have to go straight to the point while writing a formal letter. Keep it simple and short, and also avoid unnecessary friendly chat. So this is also very important, that formal letter writing is used for official purpose. We don't write formal letters to our family and friends, so we should very straight to our point. Whatever we want to write, whatever the point we want to highlight, we have to write about that point only. Okay, and we have to keep the letter very simple and short as possible, and we have to avoid unnecessary kind of chattings, unnecessary friendly chat. We cannot write how are you sir, okay, I am fine. This kind of things we should avoid because we are writing formal letter. So this kind of unnecessary friendly chat are not used in formal letter. Number 3, when writing a formal letter, you must be conscious of the arrangement, from the addresses and dates to the salutations and heading, down to the introduction, body and conclusion, closing and signature. So as I already told, as it is already given in the introduction, that we have to follow a particular format. So we have to write each and everything whatever is there in the format. Okay, we have to be conscious about the arrangement, that what will come after what. Address when we have to write address, at what place we have to write the date, at what place we have to write the salutations and heading. Okay, before salutation what we have to write, after salutation or down to the introduction what we have to write. Everything we have to go format wise. We cannot write in our own way, that here I want to write date, there I want to write address. It is not like that. So there is a particular format given, so we have to follow that particular format only. So one very important note is given, but we need to remember that whenever we are writing formal letter, We are not allowed to use any kind of abbreviation or short words like don't, aren't, willn't, okay, also won't, sorry, won't. So this kind of short abbreviations we cannot use, so we have to be very mindful of this thing, okay. So next is the format for writing letter to your principal, class teacher, headmaster or headmistress. So as I already told that there is a particular format to write letter writing. So in this video it will be easy for you to memorize that how many formats we have to follow. So this is number 1, okay, that in a format the first step. So step by step how many steps you have to follow, this is given. So step number 1 is position of receiver's address. So in step number 1 we have to write receiver's address, okay. And what is the position of the receiver address, we will learn about that also. Now how to write receiver address. So first of all, if you are writing a letter to principal, class teacher or headmaster or headmistress, then we have to start by addressing as to, okay. And after that we have to state the person or the receiver whom we are referring. If we are referring to our class teacher, write to the class teacher. If you are referring to the principal, then to the principal, and vice versa, okay. And then after we have to write the address of the receiver. Address of the receiver means obviously the name of the school or the institution, for example ABC High School, which is given here as an example. And then after, in the next step we have to write the proper address where the school is situated. If it is in Gurgaon, Delhi, then write Gurgaon, Delhi, or any place you can mention, okay. Then after, the position where we have to put the receiver address. Receiver address we have to write at the top left hand corner of the letter. At the very top left hand corner of the letter is the position of receiver's address, and this is the first step of writing formal letter writing. Now let's move to second step. Second step is the date, okay. We have to write date. Now in a formal letter writing to the principal or to any dignitaries or anyone, especially principal, class teacher, headmaster, headmistress, the position of date should be at the top of the page in the right hand side corner. See, receiver address we have to write at the top of the left hand side corner of the letter, and date should be the top of the right hand side corner, which is already given there in the box. So that is the position of writing the date. So you should not write the date in formal letter in short form like 6 Nov to 2020 or 2021, okay, like that. Always write the full name of the month. So you see the position, that date at the right hand side corner of the letter. So this is the step number 2, okay. After receiver address we have to directly write the date, okay, and the month of the date also we have to write in full form. Now next move to step number 3 is subject. Now we have to write the subject. Subject is very important to write in formal letter writing, okay. So in a formal letter, subject of the letter is very important to write. A subject line is basically a line describing what your letter is about. So subject should be very short, and subject describes about the whole content of the letter in a very short way, okay. So we have to make sure that the subject whatever we are writing is very precise, that is clear and short. Subject should be written at the left hand side after the receiver address. So what is the position of writing a subject? It is at the left hand side corner immediately below the receiver's address. So you can leave a line between receiver's address and subject just as shown in the diagram above. So you can leave a line after receiver address, writing the receiver address fully, just leave one line and then you write the subject. So our third step of writing formal letter writing is subject, okay. Now step number 4. Step number 4 after subject is salutation. Salutation means respected sir, respected madam, like that, okay. So in a formal letter it is important to include an appropriate salutation after the subject, Okay, generally your salutation should be dear sir or madam, or dear Mr., or like that Mrs. Or for example, if you're writing letter to the editor, then you can see dear sir or madam. But when you're writing to the principal or teacher, then you should write the salutation as respected sir or madam. Okay, so this is very very important to write immediately after the subject. So you can leave a space between the subject and the salutation. Means in each and every step, before writing each and every step, if you leave a line, then the letter writing look very very good. Okay, and means clear letter writing look very very clear. Okay, so that is why leave one space. Okay, so the fourth step is to write a salutation, to give a proper salutation. So next step is introduction, body and conclusion. Means you can say the content, or you can say the main part of the letter. So after the receiver address, the date, then after subject and salutation, now the main part of the letter comes, that is introduction, body and conclusion. So in the main part of the letter, where we start to write the letter, okay, there are three parts are there. First is introduction. Okay, a formal letter should always have introduction, body and conclusion. Three parts. The main part of the letter is divided into three parts. So in introduction means it will introduce the letter. Okay, then the body, that is body provide more information about what you need and why, and conclusion will reiterate your request and thank the receiver for considering your request. Okay, so these three things we have to include in the main part of the letter. Means whenever we write a letter, so you cannot write a letter in your own way. So there is a you can say rules are there, a simple rule, like first you introduce the content. Okay, introduce the content for the purpose you're writing a letter. Then after you explain it in the body of the letter. Then in the conclusion you give your request, thanks to the receiver. Okay, so this is the main part of the letter, and this is step number 5. So till here we learned that we have to follow 5 steps. Now let's see the next. The next step is step number 6, complementary clause. Complementary clause. A formal letter should conclude with a complementary clause. What is complementary clause? It is placed before your name when you close the letter. For example, yours sincerely, yours truly, yours faithfully, regards, etc. These are complementary clause. Okay, like see in the example, it is given, and where to write complementary clause, it should be written on the very very bottom of the right side of the corner. So the box which is drawn in that side, in that place, we have to write the complementary clause. So see how it is written. Complementary clause is written by using comma, and then after the writer's name and the signature. Okay, like yours sincerely, and yes, we have to write yours, not your. As we have to write yours sincerely without using any kind of apostrophe. Yours sincerely, then put a comma, which is very important, then write the name of the writer. Okay, and then after name of the writer or the name of the sender, then after your signature. So this is complementary clause, which is step number 6. So total how many steps we have followed? We have to follow 6 steps. So it is easy for you to memorize also the what are the steps we have to follow. That total we have to follow 6 steps. Now let's see one example. You are Chandra, who want to write a letter to her principal to remain absent from school for 2 days on account of her sister's marriage. Now there is an example and how to write. So this letter is written according to the format. So let's see. To the principal, Don Bosco School, Bangalore, here 465790. It is a pin code. You can write address in this way. Then next, in the right hand side corner, date 15th September 2019. Then again, after leaving one space, subject, application for leave for 2 days, a very precise and short subject. Then after, salutation, respected sir or madam. Then after, the body of the letter, the main part of the letter started here. So how it is written: I am Chandra from class 10A, and I am writing this letter to inform you that I will remain absent for the next 2 days on account of my sister's marriage. My sister's wedding ceremony will begin from 16th September to 17th September 2019. As a younger sister, I have so many duties to carry out in wedding, and also I am responsible to look after the arrangements for the wedding ceremony. Then last, the conclusion. So I kindly request you to grant me 2 days holiday, that is on 16th and 17th of September. Thank you in anticipation. Okay, so this whole is the main part of the letter, which include body, okay, introduction, body of the letter, and conclusion of the letter. Then at the last, complimentary close, yours sincerely, Chandra. Okay, so in this way we write letter to the principal, letter to the class teacher, headmaster, or headmistress. Okay, so I hope you understand this letter writing, formal letter writing. There are many parts you will get for formal letter writing. So in the next we will discuss letter to the editor, that how to write a letter to the editor. So for today, this much. Thank you.